What's up guys, welcome back. I apologize for not uploading. I've been grinding a lot of legendary XL candy, and in the last couple weeks, or since I last uploaded that last video, I got this much rare candy XL, so I'm super stoked to maybe one day when I turn, I don't know, 85, to get my Groudon to level 41. I'm so stoked for that. So yes, let's just get into the battles because I have a lot of battles today. We got Legend finally. We finally hit Legend. Another reason why I wasn't uploading a lot was because, you know, I've been trying to study the metas and trying to just dedicate my time to getting Legend. I need that street cred, otherwise why would you watch me? Because why would you take anything I say seriously if I can't at least show that I know what I'm talking about. But anyways, we did hit Legend. I did come up with this team myself, which I was especially proud of, just based on the fact that I ran into a Sunny Cherrim in Love Cup, and I was really impressed, you know, with the bullet seed and the charge moves and how fast it charged. Then I learned it got Hyper Beam and was like, bruh, like I need to use this thing. So I put it on my team, and it just did very, very well for me. So let's just not waste any time. Hopefully you guys not like the new background. This is kind of my solo Twitch stream setup, so I'm gonna modify it a little bit for YouTube videos, but for now we're just gonna go with that, and let's just jump into the battle. So again, my team is well, I haven't mentioned it yet, but it's Alomomola in the lead, and then I have Clefable as like a safe switch, although Cherrim also works as a safe switch. I've seen people use this team since then, since I hit Legend, and use it with some success. So honestly, it depends on the lead, and I'm going to talk about some of the leads as we get on. If you want to try this team, I know there's only like a couple days left, but if you do have this team and want to try it out, it should work pretty well for you. And yeah, I went from 2809 to 3013 in 4 sets, and so I was very, very happy with the performance. 17-3, went 4-1 in the set after that. So yeah, it was my best day ever this season. So let's just get right into it and talk about how to handle certain leads, because I play them a little bit differently. With Metachamp, you're gonna notice, by the way, I'm only running Psychic, so I just didn't want to put the dust in. But since then, I did get a Hydro Pump on it, but I've yet to use it. So you pretty much can get by with just Psychic. Now my strategy is this: I try to get shields. I try to get a shield advantage, and then I use Cherrim to like Hyper Beam whatever they have in the back and just knock everything out, or spam with Weather Balls, because they won't have the shields to defend themselves. And so if I get a shield advantage, that's when this team works the best. And so you'll notice I often won't shield with Alomomola. Sometimes I will if I'm feeling like, you know, a big charge move is coming, but for the most part I don't shield, and I try to save my shields for either Clefable or Sunny Cherrim. So in this case, you see here, I'm still not shielding, so this time Bug Buzz, you can see I get the defense debuff, which really sucks, and then Metachamp comes in again. No point shielding at this point, and it's just a power punch. So I'm gonna not let it farm. I'm gonna switch, and then here comes Lickitung. But again, I have the energy lead and I have the shield advantage, and so just gonna put a lot of pressure on this Lickitung. Lickitung's really thick, so it's hard to knock it out, but with the shield advantage, it's pretty easy. So yeah, here I decided to go for the Hyper Beam this time, or I decided to charge up to it, but then I go for the bait with Weather Ball, and you can see it doesn't do a lot of damage, and he didn't fall for it. So just gonna go another Weather Ball, and look at it's just chunking away, and I can shield here or let it go. It looks like I'm letting it go, and then because I know it won't KO, and then Metachamp comes in, so I'm going to put pressure with the Weather Ball, and they don't shield, so that's very interesting. Now here I decide, this is a very sketchy play, because I don't really know how much energy that it has. I shield and then I switch out, and it was very close. And here I can't throw charge moves because it's just going to shield, and we actually farm it down with Bullet Seed, which is a very weird way to win that game, but we pulled it off. But then, okay, so now we're going against Gin Tonic, and this is another lead. Again, the fighter leads, I'm not 100% sure how to play them. What I like to do is, I guess, against a Scrafty, you probably want to like charge up to a Hydro Pump, even if you don't have it. Make them think you're throwing a Hydro Pump, see if you can get that shield. You don't have to worry about getting KO'd by any of their charge moves, but the only problem with Scrafty is Psychic is resisted, so it's not... But we do get to the shield there, so that was very lucky. Then after I get the shield, I switch in with Clefable, because you can do a huge chunk of damage if you catch them off guard. And you see that we got one charm through, which did a lot of damage. And so now they have switch advantage. Again, I see here that I can maybe win this matchup, so I decide to shield here. And I decide to put pressure on shields. Again, I'm trying to put pressure on my opponent to burn their shields. That's the whole strategy behind this team. Again, so that's why I often won't farm as much. I'm just trying to get those shields. So like sometimes people will farm down, and that's usually a good strategy. But sometimes I'll just throw the charge move just to get the shield, and sometimes it works out. And so yeah, okay. So now I obviously cannot come in with Alomomola because electric type. So they quickly switch in to Scrafty, and I decided to let it go, and it was a power up punch, so it was a bait. And now, because the Scrafty is very, very low, I'm going to pressure the shield with Weather Ball, and I finally get the last shield. So this is the exact situation I want to be in. So I'm probably going to shield here if I remember correctly, because I was expecting a foul play, and a powered up foul play would have done a lot of damage. And once I saw that he baited me, like I switched out into a Alomomola just to kind of take the damage and get, because Waterfall does more damage, like quick move damage. And I wanted to feint that thing down before it knocked my Cherrim out. I want to save my Cherrim for the end game. But it turns out we didn't even need it because we had enough energy. And yeah, we win with a Psychic there. So that was game 2. And so again, fighter leads, I tend to, charge up to like a Hydro Pump even if you don't have it, throw a Psychic, and then I'll switch into a Fairy to kind of get that big chunk of damage before they can react. And it usually works out. So I've had some good success with that strategy. Yes, you do give up switch advantage, but Charm is just such a hard-hitting move that you can often still win the matchups just by that. Okay, so with Wormadam, I switched out because my defense dropped there, and then I switched into Cherrim. It looks like we both switched at the same time, so this actually worked out very well for me. So I decided to go straight for the Hyper Beam to get that shield, and they shield it. So now we're up shields. And I can let this one go, but it is going to hurt. So I let it go, and then I get the debuff again. I'm just not getting really good luck here with these debuffs. But I go for the aggressive farm down. We are able to get to another Hyper Beam. So this is very, very good. They burn their second shield, so now we're in a really, really commanding position. I can come in with Alomomola and throw the Psychic to try to get rid of this. And I believe I would probably come in with the Charm at this point. Okay, I'm gonna let it throw. I'm saving my shields. We're just gonna let Clefable take the rest of this team. And so I'm gonna do some damage, then I switch. And then they switch into a Wormadam. This is not great for me, but you can see those charms just chunking away. And I'm obviously gonna shield. If they throw an Iron Head, I'm gonna shield it, of course, because that would do super effective damage. Fairies being weak to steel. And so I throw, because I don't know if they have another one ready or not, so I just throw just to get rid of it. Okay, so now they're down to 2 Pokemon left. Hopefully they have a fighter, but though they have Electrode. Electrode normally is a good matchup for a Charmer because you can see how much damage it takes. Electrode is not very tanky. So yeah, so they don't throw for some reason. They probably could have thrown a charge move. I don't know what they were doing. But yeah, and then Alomomola comes in and we just barely farm it down with the Charm. So you can see Charm does a lot of damage. So a lot of people will have at least one Charmer on their team. It just has such good neutral damage output that it's really nice. Okay, Vileplume is the hardest lead to go against. And when I run into a Vileplume, I tend to go into Cherrim. And the best scenario you can hope for is that they stay in to try to like throw a Sludge Bomb or something, because you could burn shields with the Weather Balls. And so there, they catch the Weather Ball with their Slowbro, which is very, very good for them. But they did stay in a little too long, so they had to burn a shield. So that gives us like a little bit of hope. I'm going to go for the Hyper Beam here just to see if I can land it. We just get it off just in the nick of time, because that looks like that confusion might have knocked us out. And we land it. So we knock out their Slowbro, which was very, very good because that would have been a hard matchup for our Clefable. And now this is not good. Vileplume can farm down pretty much everything. Now, obviously, I'm going to come in with Charm because that'll chunk it more than the waterfalls will. So I have to shield. I have to charm it down. There's no way to beat a Vileplume other than just charming it down or having weather balls. So they switch out, and I kind of panic. So I throw a move, which gives me some time to react, and then I switch here just to save it, just to see if I can get one more charm off on that Vileplume later on. Now, of course, if I can get a Psychic built up somehow, obviously that would be ideal, but yeah, Vileplume is the toughest lead, so if you do run into a Vileplume lead, most times you're going to lose. So just accept it, switch into Cherrim, hope for the best, hope that they stay in, because that would be a mistake on their end if they stay in. But that's all you can hope for. And you're going to see in this case it actually works out, so... Psychic, okay, that does a little damage. I'm trying to farm down, and then they come in, so I throw just because they have to shield here. Otherwise, they're just gonna knock out, and this is perfect. But it actually knocks them out anyways. I think that was like one of those things where it had 1 HP, and so even though they shielded, it still knocked them out. I think that's what it looked like when it happened. And so yeah, that was interesting. So we barely pull that one off. Crazy one. Okay, Mag Cargo. Perfectly. They're most likely going to switch into Charmer or Fighter. So I do a little bit of damage before I switch out just to make sure I can guarantee to win this secondary matchup, because obviously we're mirroring and they had less health, so we're going to have this win no problem. I do have to shield, but that's fine. I'll just charm it down and then throw a charge move at whatever comes back in. And no matter what it is, so sometimes I tend to throw Psychic just for the hopes I get the debuff. And so I threw it there, didn't get it, but I did get a shield, and I wasn't going to get to a second charge move anyways, so really at the end of the day it didn't matter. So now I'm coming in with Cherrim, because Cherrim resists electric, being the grass type, and it's going to throw Foul Play. Now, for me personally, a lot of people run Hyper Beam on Electrode, so if I do notice that they throw like 5 or 6 volt switches before they throw a charge move, I will usually shield that first move, because a lot of times it is a Hyper Beam. I do think overall Foul Play is a better move, just because it charges way faster and it has some neutral coverage, so I like Foul Play better. And you see there they throw, or they switch to catch that move, which was really good, but we have a water type, so this is going to be very easy. I decide to throw just in case it has a charge move ready. I don't want to take any more damage, and so I throw it, and then of course they're gonna try to get to a volt switch, but we knock them out before they can get to it, before they can get to a discharge, rather. Sorry. Okay, so I think that was the 4th game in the first set. We do go 5-0 in the first set, so yeah, this team is very strong. Crustle, beautiful lead. They're gonna switch into the Fighter, we switch into the Charm, and now here is where this was my first time even using this team, and this is the first set. You don't want to knock out the Medicham right away, because you want to wait for your switch clock to run down. But if you can take a Psychic like this, then it's okay, because they're not going to farm you that much anyways. So you gotta just pay attention to your health, pay attention to the switch clock. Don't knock them out too much with too much health, because they'll farm you and possibly turn that loss into a win. So you don't want them to do that. So we get a shield. This is perfect. We have switch advantage. We have shield advantage. This is gonna be awesome. And we're just gonna let the clock drain a little bit. They're gonna switch. I'm gonna switch, and now I can just I could just go for the Hyper Beam, but I could also just go straight Weather Ball. But I'm gonna charge up to the Hyper Beam and just go for it. If it lands, then they're gonna be knocked out, and if it doesn't, and you can see there they don't shield, so it knocks out and they quit. But had they shielded, we would have had a 2-0 shield advantage, and we would have won that. And then, okay, this is actually the second set now against RagingTaz, who I will link to in the description. He's a very entertaining person to watch battling. He's Italian, so he speaks Italian and English. So if you guys want to talk to him, learn some Italian. He's really funny though. He's really good battler too. He's better than I am. So if you want to watch him on Twitch, I will put a link to his channel in the description. But he beat me on stream before, and so now I'm trying to get my revenge. And you see there we had a good lead, and they switched into Electrode. I switched into Clefable, and you could probably switch into Cherrim too, but either one's fine because Clefable or Cherrim will beat it. And I tend to save the Cherrim for like endgame because I can land a Hyper Beam. And so that was why I switched into Clefable. Some people would switch into Cherrim there, but I think both are fine. I just know like Hyper Beam can knock out so many things, so it's really nice to have that in the back. And so now I come in with the Cherrim, gonna pressure shields with Weather Ball. Just gonna pressure those shields, and we don't get one, but we do get it really close to feigning. So I'm just gonna let this Meteor Mash go through, and then Charizard comes in, and we have a Water type for this. This is gonna be pretty easy. This was pretty quick for a charge move, so I'm expecting Dragon Claw. So yeah, it was a Dragon Claw. And then I throw, just because I don't want to take too much more damage. I'm already below 50%. Get their last shield, and that's perfect. If I can just farm this down, I can throw a Psychic at their last Pokemon, and that'll be good games. So yeah, he's going to throw a Dragon Claw, but it's okay. I should be able to feint before he gets us down, and then we have the Psychic, and this will be good games. So we finally get our revenge on RagingTaz. Shout out to RagingTaz. That was a good battle. And thanks for letting me win there. Alright, so this is a set that I actually go 3-2. So I think I make a couple mistakes and just run into some hard counter teams or something. So we don't win them all. Okay, again, Metacham. I tend to throw a Psychic and then switch to Clefable to try to get that surprise damage in. And this day it worked pretty well, but it doesn't always work because you are giving up switch advantage. And so if they're playing like very well, they'll be able to capitalize on that switch advantage. But you see there, I get the shield. Again, I like to have a shield advantage. They switch into Mag Cargo. Mag Cargo is much tougher to beat. Like if they switch into a Charizard, the charms would do a lot more damage, but Mag Cargo is a little bit tankier and like it doesn't take as much damage from Charm. So we let it go. We try to go for that. And sometimes I've been noticing that lag where I cannot get the charge move off, even though I feel like I should get it off, but that's been happening a lot lately. So I don't know, it's kind of annoying, but anyways, we have switch advantage anyways, so, or no, we don't, I'm sorry. We gave it up in the beginning, so we have to try to play catch up here. So I get baited. That's unfortunate because I've been running into some Metachams with Ice Punch, and so I tended to shield there, and like it was not good. It was not a good shield. So here, could be Psychic or Ice Punch. I decide to shield again, and I get baited again, and it looks like that probably is what cost us the match, because now we have no shields, so they can throw a Hyper Beam or a Foul Play and most likely knock us out. So I go for the last ditch effort, Hyper Beam. They shield it, and yeah, that's not gonna be good for us. so yeah, Hyper Beam. Oh, that felt bad. Oh man. Sound effect there, but yeah, okay, so now we're playing against a legend, so someone's going to be trying to gatekeep us here, and Scrafty, again, fighter lead. I'll try to throw a Psychic to get a shield, and then I'll switch into a Charmer to try to surprise him. It looked like there I was trying to do it earlier, but not sure why I did that. Again, Foul Play does a little bit of chunk damage, and then I decided there to try to store the energy. You saw I did get a Charm off, so I did take a lot of its health away from doing that. Sometimes if you're really lucky, you can get 2 charms off. Like if they're really slow on the switch, you can get 2 charms off, which is amazing. But yeah, they throw Mega Horn. That's not good. We don't want to come in with Cherrim because we're weak to Poison and Bug. So I come in with Alomomola, and it was actually good that I saved that energy because now I can pressure the shield, knock it out, or get a shield. So we knock it out. We're even shields though, but we are behind in switch advantage. And then I don't think I shield this one because I'm expecting a bait. And we get foul played. So that sucked. So that was a coin flip. You know, if you had gone for the bait, we would have been in a much better spot. But it was like a coin flip. He was either going to throw foul play or power punch. He went foul play. We guessed incorrectly. And that's just the way Go Battle League goes sometimes. So didn't guess that one right. And now since they have 2 shields, they're just going to shield it and try to power up punch and feint me down. So that's basically the good strategy from their end. And I decided to undercharge this one to see if I could farm it up a little bit more, but he shields. And so I get the farm down. I have to throw, yeah, but that's a Alomomola, so we feint there. So we do lose that game. What's up? 1896 is our next opponent. And again, Alomomola, Slowbro. Now this is a better lead for us. It's a little bit easier than the fighters. I decided to switch anyways into Clefable to draw out the fire type. And so that's a good strategy if you want to do that. You could also switch into Cherrim and try to throw Hyper Beam. But I decided to switch out. But you could stay in too. Like, Alomomola is so tanky, you have options. And so you can kind of find what you like best, see what works best for you. But I did notice that a lot of those teams were running a fire in the back. So by saving Alomomola, it gives me that opportunity to farm like I am here. And that puts me in a little bit better position. So we are up a shield. We don't have switch advantage, but we're up shields and we have energy. So that was, I can't believe I missed those bubbles. That was pretty bad. So we get the last shield and then I switch out, and this is a very, very good position. I can just go Hyper Beam here, and this will pretty much knock it out. So satisfying, by the way, to land these Hyper Beams, especially on fire types. You might see that. I think you will see that in this video. If not, I have a bonus clip for you. But it's, yeah, pretty good. So we just throw weather balls. I can just keep shielding these and just keep throwing weather balls, and that'll be a good game for this one. All right, so comment in the comment section below how you've been doing in Love Cup, or if you are Legend yet, or if you just recently hit Legend. Again, I love talking to you guys. I responded to so many comments on the last video. I spent 2 or 3 days just responding to comments, but I got a lot of positive feedback from that last video. So thank you guys for tuning into that one. Hopefully Niantic does do something about the XL candy. Okay, Scolipede, I stay in here because Waterfall does a lot of damage, and their only hope here is to land a Sludge Bomb, but they decide to switch, which was a good catch on their part, but now we have switch advantage, so this is not good for them. I can just come into Charm. Again, I should have waited the clock a little bit because, yeah, we have way too much health here. So I'd take the foul play, but that doesn't do much because we resist dark types and we have a lot of health. So they're gonna come in with Scolipede and try to farm us down, but look at those charms, it still chunks it down. So they can't really farm us, which is nice. Scolipede isn't that tanky, so you see those charms doing a lot of damage. So I decided to go for the kill right now. Just gonna try to get that shield or knock them out. We get the shield, and then they go for the farm down. So now, if I came in with Cherrim and they threw a X-Scissor or Sludge Bomb, that would deal super effective damage. So that's why I come in with Alomomola to kind of tank it and knock it out. And now I could probably switch into Cherrim if I want, which is what I do. I don't let them farm me. And we have a shield advantage. So again, the shielded advantage is huge for this team. If you can get a shield advantage, get them down to 1 Pokemon and save your Cherrim. Your Cherrim can pretty much like finish most of the Pokemon in the meta with a shield advantage. Even stuff that resists fire, you can just Hyper Beam. You can maybe bait with the Weather Ball or just go double Hyper Beam if you have enough health. The only thing that's tough against it is like a Wigglytuff, because it is more tanky and the charms do a lot of damage. And so even with a shield advantage, if they guess correctly and shield a Hyper Beam, you might still lose that match just because of the charm. So it might be safer to just throw Weather Ball, straight Weather Ball, because you can just spam it. So okay, we win that game. And next game. So let's see what they got. Come on. Okay, so mirror match. What do I do in the mirror match? I throw Psychic Burst. If I get the debuff, I stay in, and if I don't, I switch out to Clefable and I save the Alomomola for just in case they have a fire type in the back. So here you're gonna see me execute the plan. I throw Psychic, it lands. I don't get the debuff, so I switch. Okay, so now they're gonna come in with Wormadam. This is fine. If they knock me out, I can always knock it out with Weather Ball with my Cherrim. So I'm not too worried here, but I do want to burn a shield. And the reason I did that is because I want to burn a shield for them, because I have that health or that energy. I want to get the shield advantage. So I get the shield there, which is perfect. And now I'm okay letting this Clefable go. Even though we're kind of close in health, I think it's going to get to another Iron Head before I would get to my charge move anyways. And so I let it go. Just didn't want to risk burning 2 shields there. So now here I can tank both of its charge moves. And so you'll probably see me not shield here if I remember correctly. Yeah, don't shield. Perfect, okay. And now we have a shield for our Cherrim. And then Vileplume comes in. This is very, very bad for us, but this could knock them out if they don't shield. So we get their last shield and then we come in with Cherrim. And I wasn't sure their switch clock was up. That was kind of a gutsy move if their switch clock was up, because they could have switched out and caught this with another Pokemon. But it looks like they're their clock just ran out. So they're going to switch into Alomomola. I need to shield. I'm gonna go for the Hyper Beam. I cannot knock him out with Weather Ball from here, so I have to go with the Beam. I overcharge just so I can get to the Weather Ball in time before the Vileplume gets to a charge move. And yeah, so we get, oh, we tied there. Actually, I didn't overfarm quite enough, but we tied there. But I have enough health on my Alomomola, very, very close, and we win with like 2 or 3 HP. So that was very close. Vileplume, especially Shadow Vileplume, is very, very tough for our team. So, okay, Rodom, I don't know how to pronounce that. I need to look that one up. But yeah, I switch. When I run into an electric type, I switch straight into Clefable. And they have their own Cherrim now. So this is not good. I decided to play it safe, and I shield, and it wasn't the Hyper Beam, but still, Weather Ball would have done a lot of damage anyways. And now I can win switch advantage if I shield here. Do I decide to shield here? Yeah, I decided to take switch advantage back because that was such a really bad, that was a bad lead for us. So I decided to shield to get switch advantage. And Wigglytuff comes in. So this would obviously get a shield. 100% will get a shield. So we're gonna just try to charm down and try to get to our Meteor Mash. See if we can get one before we faint, and we are able to get to it. So this will get the second shield, which is good. Shield's down, we can do a lot of damage with the Cherrim. And I'm not gonna go in with it because an Ice Beam would knock us out pretty much. So I'm gonna come in with a Alomomola, and then they switch, and that's perfect. So now I can just knock this out. It looks like we're doing so much damage because it's so squishy that I can just do a Weather Ball, and that should be enough. Thunderbolt did a lot of damage to us too, but I overcharged just a little bit, and I go for the Hyper Beam. Why did I do that? Okay, maybe because it's awesome. It's just satisfying, but I could have probably knocked it out with a Weather Ball. That was a very, very, not the best play, but we get to the Weather Ball anyways, and that's going to pretty much do it. So they're going to throw their energy, and we'll be able to farm down with the water type that we got. Oh, wow, they undercharged. Yeah, they kind of gave up there. So we win that game, and let's just keep going, man. So again, mirror lead, I throw Psychic. If I get the debuff, I stay in. Here we go again. So let's just talk about this one. So I'm gonna throw Psychic. If I get the debuff, I stay in. If I don't, I switch out to Clefable. So we're gonna see me do it, and they decide to switch out. So they give up switch advantage, and so I'm gonna pressure shields because I'm in a really commanding position now. I'm gonna pressure that shield, and they don't shield, so now I can come in with Clefable, and I can actually farm them down before they get to their charge move. So that was perfect. I don't have to burn any shields, and I have an energy advantage, switch advantage. This is a very, very good position for us. I think, yeah, I go for the Meteor Mash. I want to say Meteor Mash is a little bit more energy efficient anyways, so even though it's resisted, and they don't shield. So now I'm a little nervous about what they have in the back that they could be saving their shield for. It's either going to go well for them or backfire. Because if it's a fire type and I can keep my Alomomola alive, then they're going to lose with 2 shields. I shield the Bug Buzz. Oh, it was the water type, obviously. Never mind, I forgot. Okay, so I shield the Psychic. That was a very interesting play on my part. I decided to go down 2 shields. And here I have to bait. I have to get a shield somehow. And so I go for the shield bait, even though I didn't fully charge up all the way, and they kind of caught me on that. But Weather Ball just chunks away anyways, and it's so spammy that I can just throw another one. And they let it go. And so now I should survive this, and then the Bullet Seed will take them down quite low. Because it is super effective, so I'm just going to go for the farm down. And we get it. And now Wormadam is in, and I can throw hopefully 2 Weather Balls, but they did get a Confusion in, so that'll probably knock me out. Yeah, that knocked me out. But, dude, our waterfalls are just so powerful, and I know I survive a Bug Buzz from here, and so I can just go straight waterfall. We don't get debuffed, so that's perfect. And we farm them down, and they lose with 1 shield. So, man, Alomomola is just so powerful. And I don't even have a good one. It's a 477. It's like not even that great. But so I've spent very little dust on this. And then we finally catch a good lead. A lot of fires will have a fighter in the back, or like double fighters often, but this one has a charmer. So I come in with my own charm. after I do a little bit of waterfall damage just to guarantee I win this matchup. And then they're probably going to throw to get a shield, so I'm going to shield just to get switch advantage, just to keep that alignment. I want to keep my water type on their fire type. Plus I can throw a charge move. And if I know the fire is going to come back in, I'll throw Psychic to try to get like a debuff. And yeah, so I throw Psychic. And let's see, they don't shield it, so that does a lot of damage. The charm does a lot of damage, so they're already at 40% health, so this is pretty good for us. I'm gonna come in obviously with the water type, and then they're gonna switch right away, and then I switch right away to Cherrim. Sorry, Cherrim. And again, I think I counted that one. It didn't look like it was a hyper beam, so I let it go, thinking it was gonna be a discharge, but it was foul play, and that does a lot of damage. And so again, that's kind of why I like foul play. I think a little bit more. It's a little bit more spammy. It gives you a little bit more options. With Hyper Beam, like you have to land it on certain Pokemon to have a chance to win. And if you don't, then it's GG's. But yeah, so foul play gives you a little bit more play, I think. No pun intended. But I'm gonna shield. Have to shield because that would have knocked me out. Gonna go for Weather Ball. And then there's only 2 more Bullet Seeds to the next one. So I think I can get to it before they can get to their... Yeah, before they get to their charge move. So this will knock them out, and that'll be good games for us right here. Oh, I guess they have their fire type still, so I switch. There's nothing they can do that would knock me out. Even Brave Bird won't KO from there, so yeah, good game. All right, we're getting very, very close to the end. It's gonna be a long video again, but that was our 3rd set. So we go 5-0 in the 3rd set, and this is our last set. So we are getting close. We're at 2965, I think, ELO at this point. So I know based on prior sets, I need to get 4 wins here to get to Legend. So that wasn't a great lead for us, or that wasn't a great lead for them. They switched out, but that was a bad. This team was just not. They didn't have a good team for our waterfall Alomomola because they switched into a Crustle. I could have stayed in, and knocked them out with just waterfalls, but I decided to come in with Clefable because I know with a HB lead, I can just charm it down. And yeah, so we're in a good spot. We just have to keep Alomomola alive. Their team was double weak to water, so that's unfortunate for them. Look at those waterfalls, man. Just going to town on this Magcargo. Magcargo is a really good pick, but it is expensive. Really, really expensive. Okay, Kingler. Yeah, I don't know why they brought... Kingler's a little spicy. Not the best Pokemon. It's kind of squishy. You can see their Bullet Seeds are actually chunking a little bit. So you know it's squishy if Bullet Seeds are chunking away. Because Bullet Seeds don't do a lot of damage. So, yeah. Just gonna throw fire. I can literally throw anything at this thing, and even if it's resisted, the Bullet Seed damage with whatever else I throw at it will be enough to knock them out. So that's why I don't even try to bait. I just go straight Weather Ball. Even though it's resisted, I don't care. Because look at that. That does a ton of damage. And poor Magcargo. This will not do any damage. Magcargo double resists fire. And I think at this point I didn't realize that. See how little damage that does? But I can just switch into Waterfall and knock it out. And then there goes the Kingler. So that was just a very weak team to the water types. So we got lucky there. So we're 1-0. Last set. 1-0. Here we go. Wormadam. Again, I stay in. Just try to get as much damage as possible. I try to get shields. This is a lead where it's pretty neutral. So I can just stay in here and throw Psychic, and this is gonna be probably Bug Buzz. I decided to shield. I go with my gut. I'm like, this might be Bug Buzz. I'm gonna keep this alive and shield. Now you don't always have to do that, but I do force them to switch. And by forcing them to switch, now we have switch advantage. We can come in with our Charmer. This will be pretty easy. I'm gonna let it hit me just to save my shields. Plus, I don't want it to farm after I knock it out. So. Yeah, if it was a fire type though, and they switched to a fighter, because a lot of teams are fire double fighter, I probably would have maybe shielded that to keep it alive, but yeah, you don't really have to. I guess as long as you keep alignment, you can probably knock out the other fighter with your water type anyways. So yeah, I mean, when you run into a team like that, it's just awesome. There's so many different ways you could win. Okay, I'm gonna come in with Alomomola again, get the waterfall off. Bug Buzz, ooh, that one hurt a little bit, but no debuff that time. They come in with their own Alomomola, and now we have to land a Hyper Beam. Weather Balls don't do a lot of damage. Psychic does a lot of damage. It takes only 7 waterfalls to get to it, and so it takes us like 7 or 8 to get to Hyper Beam, so like it's not the fastest charging move. Obviously, I decided to go for it, and it lands, and that was all we needed. That was all we needed. We can farm down. So that was clutch. We needed that to land. It landed. Now Wormadam is going to be double weak to fire, so just going to throw the fire. There's one, and that's game. Whew. All right, so that's 2 wins. We need 2 wins, and we hit legend. So shout out to all the people that came onto the stream. My freaking Big Sur updated and broke. Like, I couldn't even open OBS, so I couldn't stream this. I wanted to. I decided to go to with Streamlabs, even though I couldn't play music. It wasn't recognizing the music. It was just a nightmare. But I did go on stream and showed everybody this last set, and then I did the last set on stream, which we went 4-1 that last set. But anyways, Alomomola. Now I let them throw first. That was kind of, I don't know if they just beat me in CMP or what, but I usually try to throw first. And then we get the defense drop, so that's perfect. So now I'm staying in, and then they switch out, and that's perfect. That gives me switch advantage. I'm gonna try to get a shield. I'm doing more damage, and now I can come in with Clefable, and I know I'll win that matchup. And they don't shield, so it's even better. So now it's guaranteed win here. And they don't get their charge moves, so that's perfect. I don't even need to expend a shield. Now they come in with cast form, and this is a little bit rough for me because my Alomomola is so low. I stayed in a little bit too long, I think. That was my problem. But again, I got the debuff, so that's why I stayed in. But then I stayed in a little bit too long against the charm. I should have switched right away. That was my mistake. Because now you see my Alomomola doesn't have much health. And those embers, okay, they switch out, and then I also didn't wait for my clock, so that was a mistake. Because now I lost my only water type to fight back at the fire type, so that was bad. And they have too many shields here. So this is definitely not good. So I decided to throw a Weather Ball just to see if I can get a shield. And I don't get it, and I know exactly what they're doing. They're saving their shields for a cast form. And I don't even know if I'm going to be able to burn both shields with enough speed to win this. So they burn the shield. I think at this point I decide to throw one more time because I know I can get to a third one. But again, fire resists fire, so it's not looking good for me. And Ember doesn't charge a lot, like very quickly, but it does. This thing has thrown a lot of embers at me, so I didn't think I was gonna get to a Hyper Beam. So I throw Weather Ball, and you can see it doesn't do a lot of damage. And yeah, I have no shields, and it's gonna be a good game. So we do lose game 3. And so now I'm getting a little nervous. We're 2-1, but we need 2 more wins to close it out. You can see that the sun goes down right there. So we have to win the last 2 games. Okay, Metacham. I don't like Metacham leads, but again, I'm just gonna do whatever strategy that I do. I do Psychic, burn shield, then I switch. I'm just focusing on getting that shield advantage. So I'm gonna let this go. And it's a dynamic punch, which I wasn't expecting. Caught me way off guard. That does quite a bit of damage. And so I throw this, and then I'm gonna switch. Just execute the plan. I switch. I get 2 charms off. I don't know if you guys saw that. I got 2 charms off. So that was really, really good. That was really, really good for us because we took a ton of health away from that Metacham. I decided to just let this go. Again, I want to keep shield advantage. So I'm going to throw Psychic. Hopefully I get another shield here. Please get a shield. I don't get a shield, but that's fine because I did take a lot of their health away, and Cast Form is a big threat to my Cherrim, and so I'm fine with this. I let it go. I'm going to farm it with the Alomomola, and they're going to come back in, probably Metacham, yep. But I did get 2 waterfalls off, so I could shield this maybe and get to my charge move. So that's what I decided to do. I shield, and they might not even be running power-up punch, so I definitely have time to get to my charge move. So that's why I shielded there. And get the last shield. This is perfect. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, Mad Cargo. I think if I remember correctly, I threw Weather Ball for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why I did this. At the time, I forgot how little damage it does. When I throw it, I'm like, oh crap. That was a very bad mistake. So I go Hyper Beam. And then what I learned was I needed to throw 2 weather balls anyways, because you see Hyper Beam doesn't knock it out. I could have gone maybe double Hyper Beam, but because I threw the weather ball, I needed to shield and throw another weather ball. But you can see there the bullet seeds are chunking it down pretty good. And I know this weather ball will KO from here. So we get it, and then the Metacham comes in. This is very close. Oh crap, I forgot how close this was. We just knock it out with the waterfall. So yeah, definitely my mistake there. I should have just went straight Hyper Beam. I would have probably had more health to farm down the Metacham, but we get it. So this is the last game, and we have a beautiful lead. So this is just amazing. They're gonna switch into Wormadam, and then I think about it because I forget what to come in with, and I gotta come in with the fire. Even though it's a grass type, I need to come in with the fire moves. This is perfect. I'm gonna shield just to be safe in case it's a bug buzz, and it's not. We get baited a little bit, but that would have dealt neutral damage anyways. But again, I'm just trying to keep my alignment. If I can keep my alignment, I should be able to win this game. So I get that, and then I go for the farm down. That was a little aggressive because they could have thrown an Iron Head there. They were probably right there, and then I decided to go for the Hyper Beam. Hopefully the Charizard won't shield it, and the Charizard doesn't shield it, and that just sealed the deal. Once I landed that, I knew we got to Legend, and I was just freaking out. I was like, holy crap. I decided to just try to finish this whole team off with Cherrim. Cherrim was the MVP for me, by far, hands down. That was the first time, but we did in the very next set, I landed a Hyper Beam on a Charizard, so it was pretty nice. Anyways, just shield here, and then I can charm it down. And they throw a Hyper Beam, which is even better. They were going for that last ditch Hail Mary. I knew once they did that, they weren't going to get to another Hyper Beam in time, or if they did, I could just farm it down with Alomomola. And we finally take the 4th win of the set, and super, super stoked. So we get the 4 wins, we claim all the rewards, and then we go to 3013, and we finally hit Legend. So it took us quite a while. I definitely made some bad plays. I made some bad, poor decisions by running certain teams that weren't fully powered up, like my Umbreon in Ultra League. But hey, it doesn't matter. We finally got it at the end, and I'm just super, super stoked. And I want to show a bonus clip. I want to show a bonus clip at the end here from my boy Panick23, who's a very, very good streamer. We're gonna watch a clip that he had because he ended up hearing about this team. I was telling him about it, and he decided to run it. And let's just watch this last game. Okay, let's just play it here.
You're fast forward.
I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Okay, so he runs into a bad lead, and then he decides to switch. And let's just watch what happens. This is pretty funny. So Charizard comes in. He's going for the Hyper Beam. Look at his face. Oh my god, this expression is hilarious.
Oh my.
Lands the Hyper Beam. Just like cannot stop laughing. Oh my god, that was classic. Again, that's one of the powers of Hyper Beam. Not a lot of people know that that's a move.
Oh
and
my god,
the Charizard resists Solar Beam and Weather Ball. So like a lot of times they're just not going to shield. They're not going to respect the beam. And so you're going to get a lot of wins that way. But anyways, yeah, that was classic. So that's going to wrap it up. Sorry it was a long video, but I just wanted to show the whole run. It only took 4 sets from that last day. But if you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And again, shout out to Panick23 and shout out to RagingTaz and shout out to all the people who watched me on stream that day. Watched the replay and then watched my last set. You guys mean so much to me. And if you guys want to watch me on Twitch, twitch.tv/JRskatr. I'm going to be streaming with Coops, Casual Coops, a lot next week. It's such a hilarious time. You gotta tune in and just check us out. All right, so I hope you guys have a great night, and we will see you in the next one.